almost, well, it's less than 24 hours later.
Well, what a great opportunity it is for Sean O'Sullivan right now. Again, the key for him is just staying back, not overthrowing the baseball. Work down in the zone, sink the fastball, use his very good curveball. He's got an excellent changeup, especially for a young pitcher to be able to throw back-to-back changes to a changeup and a fastball count is very impressive. Last few times in the mound, he hasn't been aggressive. So look for him to try to be aggressive against a very good offense of the Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers tonight, Julio Bourbon, Michael Young, and David Murphy at the top of the order. Marlon Byrd, Hank Blaylock, and Ian Kinsler in the middle. Nelson Cruz is back in there tonight. Pudge Rodriguez behind the plate, and Elvis Andrus bats ninth and plays shortstop. And we're ready to go as Julio Bourbon steps in there to start the ballgame. DHing for the Rangers tonight. And the first pitch of the game from Sean O'Sullivan's a little bit high. Bourbon is hitting .318. 1-1. The Texas Rangers, 85 wins, 71 losses. Not quite good enough this year in the AL West. You know, if Texas goes on and wins, let's say, 88, 89 games, there was a time earlier this year where you might have thought that would be good enough before the Angels got hot after the All-Star break.
And Rod Washington's done a tremendous job, as Mike Scioscia has done with his team.
In the air to center field, Gary Matthews playing center tonight. So let's take a look at that. Angel D with Willits in left tonight. Reggie getting the start. Matthews and Abreu out there. Then around the infield, it's Figgins, Brandon Wood at shortstop, Howie Kendrick, and Rob Quinlan's on the field tonight. Jeff Mathis catching O'Sullivan.
Well, it's good to see Brandon Wood get an opportunity to play and start a game at shortstop. Last year, when he came up, when the club had some key injuries in the middle part of their infield, he did a solid job playing some shortstop.
Michael Young, the batter for the Rangers, takes strike one. Young is not quite going to get to 200 hits this year. Injuries will stop him, even though he's hitting .324. He has 170 hits. And Abreu tried to sell that one, but didn't catch it. Pretty good effort by Abreu to convince the umpire he caught it.
Showed it right away. Good call by Larry Vanover. It was right on top of that, but the ball hit the ground before it got into Bobby's glove. Good try.
Now David Murphy. There is still a heck of a pennant race going on in the Central Division. The Tigers and Twins, 2 games separating them. The Tigers leading that division, and they played a doubleheader today and split. So for the Tigers, that means 2 more games off the schedule, and they're still up by 2.
That's what we talked about last night. It's an advantage for the Tigers because most times you have a doubleheader, it's always a split, and that's all the Tigers need at this point. They want to eliminate games. And by splitting that doubleheader, they knocked basically 2 days off the schedule. Now they're down to 2 more games against the Twins, in which forced them to win both.
Well, the Tigers hold that 2-game lead over the Twins, and that split today definitely plays into the Tigers' hands.
So Ron Gardenhire, the manager for the Twins, got to play that like it's the 7th game of the World Series the next 2 days. No matter who he needs, he's got to have him in there, whether it's a pitcher, reliever, or a hitter.
1-2 to Murphy. The Twins deserve a lot of credit for being this close at this point in the season.
We talked about Justin Morneau not being available for the last couple weeks and done for the season. Former MVP of the American League.
One ball, 2 strikes. Pop fly left field. Reggie Willits moves over.
And the interesting thing here too for the Rangers is they're still alive in the wild card chase. Boston in Fenway against Toronto today, we're down 8-2. J.D. Drew hit a 3-run home run in the 8th inning and made it 8-7, so it's a closer game. But still, they're alive, the Rangers, as far as that wild card. They're at magic number at 1 for the Red Sox.
Boston has made it 8-7, and they're in the 9th inning now. Bottom of the 9th with the Red Sox batting. Marlon Byrd at the plate for the Rangers. We were talking about records a moment ago, and if you took the Texas Rangers record and put them in the Central Division, they'd be in first place.
Really a great year when you think about it for the Rangers. They got to be proud of what they've accomplished under Ron Washington, in my opinion.
A slow roller over the mound out to Brandon Wood. And his throw to first is in time. Texas gets a base hit, and that's all in the first inning.
And he tried to get up and try to walk his way through it. He is going down there last night also, going as hard as he can. He understands the magnitude of this game, and it's sore at that point. You can see it. But he wasn't coming out no matter what. But this time there's no chance for him to be able to stay in this game, and he barely could stand up at this point.
Man, and last night he also ran into the wall trying to catch a home run ball. Almost caught it, almost made a great play, but hit the wall square out there in center field. So Byrd giving it everything he has, but has to come out. Craig Gentry takes over in center field for Texas. Sean Figgins leads off for the Angels in the bottom of the first. Strike one to Figgy, with Scott Feldman on the mound for the Rangers, bringing in a record of 17-6.
He's phenomenal on the road. 12-2 on the road. The 3.16 ERA. Born in Hawaii. Good ERA overall, too. This guy has a fastball at 88 to 92. He's also got a cut fastball, curveball, and a changeup.
One ball, two strikes to Figgy. Feldman will definitely get some votes in the Cy Young voting. He'll be right in that mix.
Well, there's no doubt he deserves it. I mean, he's done a tremendous job for this club. 3-0 against the Halos this year.
The Angel lineup tonight: Figgins, Willits, Abreu. Then Vladdy in the cleanup spot. Gary Matthews batting fifth. Howie Kendrick plays second tonight. Q bats seventh. Brandon Woods in there hitting eighth. And Jeff Mathis doing the catching.
You can see what Mike Scioscia is already doing with the lineup, giving some guys some days off, but also keeping a couple of his regulars in there to get their swings together before the postseason.
Reggie Willits getting a chance to start a ball game tonight.
And that's the key for Mike right now. You know, every once in a while you're going to give a Torrey Hunter a day off. You're going to give eventually Bobby Abreu a day off. You know, you just got to pick and choose which day's the best and not tinker with their swing.
Right back to the mound. 2 down. And that'll bring on Bobby Abreu.
Interesting quote in the paper by Mike Scioscia when he talked about Bobby Abreu. He said he's the MVP of the team. I mean, you got some pretty good candidates when you think about it, from Kenyon Morales, Sean Figgins, Jared Weaver, Torrey Hunter. He said Bobby Abreu was the MVP for what he's done for this club as far as seeing pitches, working counts, good approaches at the plate.
Strike one to Bobby. As far as personal goals, a player like Abreu, who has hovered right around 300 all year, he's hitting 295 right now. Probably like to get that.
And I think if he did have a couple games in which he had enough hits to get it up to 300, Mike Scioscia probably would rest him, where he could stay at that level. It's amazing when you're a hitter or a pitcher, the difference between an ERA at 3 and 2.99 or a batting average of 300 and 2.99. It's barely a hit. Certainly less than a half a run, but it's just a big difference. You could say your ERA is in the 2s, or your batting average is in the 300s.
1-2 to Abreu. The Angels have more than just Abreu hovering right around that number. Figgy's hitting 298. Kendrick's hitting 298. Full count to Abreu, 3-2.
Now that's a shocker. 3-2 count for Bobby Abreu.
Still a full count. He said early on that he considers a good at-bat an at-bat where he sees at least 8 pitches. He's lived up to that.
You got to have a lot of confidence in your swing to take some pitches in which normal batters will be up there hacking.
And there's a fly ball into right field. That sends Nelson Cruz to the warning track. To the wall. It's over his head. And that ball is off the wall. Home run. It came back to the right fielder. Home run for Bobby Abreu. He got it out. Number 15 on the year, and it's 1-0 Angels.
Boy, I think you're seeing that of Bobby of late, too. Not only getting some hits, getting a swing back, but also extra base hits. Double, a triple recently, a couple home runs, driving the ball. 15th home run on the season. There's Expo. You can see right there a fastball. He wanted to turn it over, a sinker, but it was elevated. And Bobby able to get the big part of the bat and drive it out.
Vladdy hits one back to the mound. Let the Angels get the early lead on a home run by Bobby Abreu. 1 run on 1 hit. 1-0 after 1.
I was in there texting his dad, and I look up on the TV, and our guys are all out there taking a picture in front of his picture out in center field. So yeah, I mean, he's been with us the whole way. He's never left our mind at all, and you know, he's going to be a part of this forever. So we're not done. This is just the very beginning of what we need to accomplish right now.
The batter leading off the second is Hank Blaylock. Butch was talking about the players running out right there to salute their teammate who is not here physically, and just kind of say, I think, Gooby, hey, you've been with us all the way, you're still with us, you're one of us, and tonight you celebrate with us.
Well, that, for me, was one of the most amazing, touching things I've ever seen, not only in baseball, in all of sports. Just the spontaneity to go up there and do that for their friend, their teammate, their brother.
That ground ball up the middle by Blaylock was handled by Figgins, the third baseman. Yes, the shift was on, but that's a long way for the third baseman to go.
Well, he was drafted as a shortstop. He decided to make a play at shortstop there. But getting back to what their teammates did for Nick Adenhart, I couldn't almost breathe when I saw that. And I looked down from those, we're up in the rock pile, and for them to do that, the whole entire team, coaches, everyone. I've never seen anything like that in my life. It's incredibly touching.
We understand some of the emails that came in today saying, hey, he died because of a drunk driver and it's inappropriate to pour beer over a sign of Nick Adenhart. But I think death doesn't miss any of us. And the players, I think, that was just their way of, it was an outpouring of emotion to say, you've been with us every step of the way. And if you were here physically, you'd be getting this dousing in the clubhouse with all of the rest of us. I didn't find anything particularly inappropriate about that. There's a fly ball to shallow right for you. Bobby Abreu makes the catch.
Yeah, I agree with you, Roy. I understand the sensitivity of that.
I do too.
There's no doubt in my mind, no question. But the reality is, for this team to have that spontaneity to be able to grab the jersey and include Nick in that celebration, for me, I was fortunate enough to be in the celebration a couple times in Kansas City. Of course, ended up winning the World Series in '85. But to have him included in that celebration was phenomenal. And if you're Nick's mom and dad right now looking at that, they have to feel, wow, I must have raised an unbelievably beautiful child.
Right.
Because for the guys that include him in there, even though he's no longer with us, but he is looking down. He's been down there every single game since he left us. For me, that was truly what a teammate is all about, what a brother's all about, and the guys included him in that.
And Butch was texting Mr. Adenhart as that was going on.
I mean, that's amazing. And here they are, every last guy coming out and tapping that. You saw every starter before they warmed up during the season tap that. Catchers, Napoli, Mathis doing the same thing. It's hard to explain, but when you're in that clubhouse and around each other, they're part of your family. I mean, there's no getting around that. They're part of your family, and it's a touching thing. And Mike Butcher obviously had to deal with a lot of that being at the hospital that night.
Howie Kendrick takes care of Nelson Cruz, and the Rangers are out in the second inning. the race. In the wild card, the Red Sox lost tonight. The magic number for Boston to eliminate Texas is still 1.
When Boston was coming back, Kevin Youkilis struck out with a couple guys on in that 9th inning.
They seem to have a way of pulling those games out, but it didn't quite happen tonight. Oh, and 1 to Gary Matthews. And Gary hit by the pitch.
A big curveball by Feldman, got him right on the toe. Gary with 4 stolen bases on the season. Howard Exmo shows that break on that curveball. Gary trying to get out of it. He thought about trying to get out. He's now, I'll take the base.
Now Howie Kendrick up there. He's hitting .298, so a few more hits would get him above the 300 mark, which I'm sure he would love.
Well, pretty quick to the plate. 119 to 1-3. It's allowed 14 stolen bases, but 7 Steelers have been caught. So he's pretty quick to the plate.
Two 2-0 to Howie Kendrick. When you have clinched a division, Gooby, you've clinched a playoff spot, and you have 6 games left. How difficult is it to not feel like, oh, can we just get these games over with and get on to the playoffs?
Well, I think it's almost like that same mood you're in at the end of spring training. You just want to get the regular season started. Well, Mike Scioscia wants to get the real season started. This club has been built to win a world championship. He got the first step out of the way by winning the division, so it is tough. But the reality is it's an opportunity to rest some bodies, but also try to keep everybody in tune. Mike Scioscia will probably have the starters. Casimir was supposed to start tonight, but Mike's going to shuffle the rotation around, and they'll probably throw 4 or 5 innings. Pitch count will go down, but they got to try to keep them sharp. You don't want too much time in between outings.
But it does. There's no denying that it feels a little different when you come to the ballpark, and it's not on the line all of a sudden, and the crowd knows that, and it's a little bit quieter. It's certainly a different feeling.
Yeah, we're never fortunate in Kansas City to have. I think we won both years by 1 game, so we were stressing it out all the way to the end. Last year in 08, Angels looked like they clinched out at the All-Star break pretty much with a 100-win season. Well, to be honest, September 10th, but still it felt like it was a long time.
That's too long. I mean, you still have 3 weeks to go. Howie Kendrick with a swing and a miss. And last year, the Angels clinching on the 10th of September. That leaves you with a lot of games left to play before you finally turn it back on. I mean, that's too much.
Well, you look at 02 when they won the World Series, similar date, the 26th compared to the 28th of September, clinching a playoff spot.
But it's different this year because the season goes a little longer into October before it's over.
Look back on an extremely long season when you mix in the World Baseball Classic in spring training. Extra long spring this year.
With the runner going, Howie hits a ground ball right to Andrus. He stepped on second too late. So Matthews gets in there before Elvis can get to the bag, and they get just 1. Now let's see on the replay how close this is. Wow, very close.
We've been over a couple close plays already, but right on top of it, Exmo shows, wow, that's about as close as get. He might have got his foot in there before Gary did. It was a close play at second. Good hustle, though, by Gary going on the pitch. Not many clubs will go 3-2 with no outs, but not the Angels are very aggressive.
Feldman bluffing Matthews back as Rob Quinlan waits at the plate. Rob Quinlan hitting .245. Hard shot to third, caught by Young.
McHugh crushed that breaking pitch. But Young very quick. Former shortstop playing third base for the Rangers. Certainly hasn't made that offense suffer at all. Great numbers for Michael once again.
2 out, Brandon Wood at the plate. It's hard to believe how few at-bats Wood has on the big league level this year. Just 26 for all of the talk about him, especially early in the season. But the opportunity just hasn't been there for Brandon.
It's not easy to get in a bat every couple weeks and get a good swing, too. It's difficult for him. Definitely think he has potential to be a very solid major leaguer. Great power, shorten up his swing. From what we saw at the beginning part of the year last year towards the end, saw some great numbers in spring training.
Two balls and 1 strike to Brandon Wood. He has to be getting to the point where he's thinking, when is it going to be my turn? He'll be 25 in spring training next year. Never a complaint from Woody. But players with this much talent that do it year after year in AAA eventually start thinking, hey, it's time for me to get my chance, don't they?
Or you start to doubt your own ability. Why am I still down there in AAA? Why am I not getting my shot? And then that's when you try to hit a 700-foot home run instead of just getting a good at bat.
He gets a walk here, but you can look at the middle infielders is Turris, Ibar, and Kendrick, and even Cowie was Woody's teammate in Salt Lake for a while this year. He'll probably figure it out, even though it might not make you feel any better.
But if you're Brandon, all you can do is try to put up some numbers. Show some good approaches to the plate. That was a solid approach there. Worked the walk, then swinging pitches out of the zone. So you take those small steps before you become the star everyone envisioned you'd becoming.
Jeff Mathis up there. Yeah, shot up the middle, gets through. Gary Matthews is at third. Here he comes to the plate. He will score. 2-0 Angels. Now Mathis heading to second. He's in there.
Well, on a lot of fronts, that was great base running by the Angels. Gary Matthews, of course, scoring on that base hit up the middle. Brandon Wood recognizing a young player in center field. He went first to third on that, when clearly the center fielder, Gentry, sees that, can throw to third, maybe able to get the out at third before the run scores across the plate. Aggressive baser, and then you got Mathis seeing the ball go through past the cutoff man, gets into scoring position himself. That's how you win championships year in and year out.
RBI number 28 for Jeff Mathis.
Saw that it got through the cutoff man. Aggressive, getting into scoring position himself. Look how he Watson sees it. Recognizes by the cutoff man. Nobody's going to be at first base. Gets at second base. There's no let up on this team, even though they clinched it last night. It's good to see that.
Gary Matthews scoring the run. Sean Figgins at the plate now. Scott Kazmir was scheduled to start tonight. Sean O'Sullivan getting the start. Tomorrow, Jared Weaver was scheduled, but he is now, we've been told, and he's been told he's not going to pitch tomorrow. And tomorrow and Thursday, the Angels have listed as to be announced. So they are definitely juggling some things up and giving some maybe a little bit of a weary arm a chance to rest.
Well, all indications are Joe Girardi's going to select in that first round, since they have the best record in the American League, a longer playoff series. So, you know, it's going to be shortened up, so Mike Scioscia has the option of getting Weaver, Saunders, Casimir, Lackey worked there in his last 4 games of the season. And then, of course, then Irvin Santana is in the decision. Do they come have out of the bullpen, or is he going to be a starter too? A lot of question marks still, but of course, Mike Socha and his staff know exactly which direction they're going in at this point.
So when you say Girardi's selecting the longer series, does that mean the Angels start play Wednesday or Thursday?
I think from what I understand, I think it's Wednesday, off day Thursday, play Friday, go to Boston, play Saturday, Sunday, then come back to the Big A for Game 5 on Monday. So that's a legit short series. A lot of traveling.
Spread out over a few days. 3-1 here to Sean Figgins. He draws a walk, and that loads the bases for the Angels. Feldman in this inning has walked 2 and hit a batter.
Significant walk, too, for Sean Figgins. Walk number 100 on the season. Congratulations to Sean Figgins. Very patient and a smile telling the guys in the dugout he got number 100.
Figgy on base again. That's been a theme for him this season. Quick conference on the mound. It'll get quicker as soon as the home plate umpire Mike Winters gets out there, and now he breaks it up.
You know, it's tough for the Rangers to get motivated once again after seeing the Angels celebrate in front of them, beating them 11-0, but they still have a chance for the postseason. Boston losing tonight. Granted, it's a long shot, but hey, as long as you have an opportunity, you got to start playing some better baseball.
Reggie Willits. He tapped one back to Feldman his first time up. And it's 0-2 to Reggie. Major league at bats for Willits this year, 70. Bases loaded for the Angels. 2 outs in the second inning, already leading 2-0. '25th pitch of the inning here for Feldman. You would have to think Matt Palmer will get a start in here somewhere if they're not starting anybody in the rotation the next 2 days.
Well, he's done an amazing job for Mike Socha as a starter. Guy coming out of the bullpen, give him some innings. Again, you're going to see Mike mixing and matching, getting some guys starting out of that bullpen, maybe 3-4 innings, and of course sprinkling the starters a couple innings.
Reggie hits a liner into right field, but Cruz will catch it. And the Angels leave the bases loaded in the second inning. Halos leading at 2-0. what's new at SC4dealers.com. And by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. The celebration from last night in the clubhouse, Gooby.
Oh, look at that fun. Look at those smiles. That's the best of times right there. But, of course, that last one, possibly November 5th. Is that Game 7 possibly?
November 4th.
November 4th. Oh, I wanted to push it back a day just in case.
You wanted to delay the celebration to the next day?
Yeah, if I could. Anyway, nice job by you, Rory, yesterday in that clubhouse. Way to go.
Gooby.
That's about the last thing I'll say. Nice about you, but hey, good job.
Third inning and Pudge Rodriguez at the plate. Yep, you were mighty adequate yourself out there.
Yep. It's good to be up in the rock pile just to enjoy that feel. It was a great time everywhere in the stadium yesterday. Pudge back in the game when you think about it. He fouled that one foul ball went right off his hand, his throwing hand. He had ice on, had to come out of the game, and here he is starting the game and batting in this position.
Pudge hitting .261 this season.
Wanted to hit that foul ball, gets underneath him, it gets right on his throwing hand, and he had to come out of the game. He put ice on his hand. The Pudge right back in again. All-time leader as far as games caught in the history of baseball. When you think about great catchers, Johnny Bench obviously comes to mind, Yogi Berra. I mean, you got to have Pudge Rodriguez in that same breath. 13-time Gold Glover.
And Pudge goes down swinging right here. Fans, the Angels have won the West. Come celebrate during the postseason rally. It's coming up this Thursday. Immediately following the Angel-Ranger game, which starts at 3 o'clock. The celebration includes Angel players and alum, the U.S. Army parachute team Golden Knights, and a spectacular fireworks show will finish it all up. That's Thursday after the game. So probably somewhere around 6 o'clock. But if you're at the ball game, obviously, just stick around.
Listen, fans, you're even able to come in for free. Fans just hovering around, want to come in and join in the celebration. Get the guys ready for the postseason.
Just hovering around?
Yep.
Just outside there?
Just kind of wandering by. Let's go. I might go check out a postseason rally.
Yeah. Well, let's go in there. There's ball 2 to Elvis Andrus.
See, that's the kind of information I can give you at all times, Roy. Just that,
right.
Just that peripheral view I have. Just be able to say, hey, there's a guy out there. He wants to come in and hang out and join the postseason rally.
Yeah. You folks at home, if you just happen to be hovering around the Big A here Thursday, come right on in.
By all means.
2-2 to Elvis Andrus. He blinds it to right. Bobby Abreu makes a nice grab. Two out, Julio Bourbon coming up. Back to the top of the order for Texas. Bourbon hit a fly ball to center his first time up, 0 for 1.
Well, that's that great changeup O'Sullivan has. Well, if you're a hitter, you think and read fastball because of his arm action, but that changeup is at 80 miles an hour after a 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Bourbon. Good fastball by O'Sullivan strikes him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Sean, and a 1-2-3 third. 2-0 Angels. Beautiful night for baseball, and for him.
He's got to be excited. His team's going to the playoffs. Lots of kids out here. It's awesome to see. School night, still get an opportunity to see the last few games here, the regular season at the Big A.
Bobby Abreu, the batter. One ball, one strike to Bobby, who hit a home run his first time up. Just got it out over the right field fence. Feldman has given up just 2 hits, but he's been a little bit wild. Mike Socia maybe keeping late hours last night. Looks a little fatigued today.
Long drive, late night, drive back to Thousand Oaks and been back down here. It's not easy for Mike. Traffic's always nice in the 101.
Especially when you've taken a shower in champagne and beer.
Well, you can see just that smile he had. I mean, it's been a very difficult season for the club, dealing with a lot of things.
And lined into right field by Abreu, right to Cruz. And last night, Mike finally admitted, yes, the team is going to the playoffs.
He had a great quote, too. Jose, who did a tremendous job, Jose Modes, in locker room. He said, hey, you're in the playoffs, Mike. He goes, well, we have a game tomorrow.
That's right, he did.
I said, that is so typical of Mike Socia. No doubt there is a game tomorrow, but you are going to the postseason.
We have to start thinking about tomorrow. We're going to have a meeting. See, they said they were going to have a meeting. Vlad Guerrero at the plate now. You should probably go down after the game and ask him if they get past the first round, how he expects the ALCS to stack up.
Yeah, I might think about this. Well, overlooking Boston right now, what do you think about your chances against the Yankees? He'll have a lot of good things to say about that, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll answer that with a lot of enthusiasm. Vladdy lines one into right field. A base hit for Vlad Guerrero. Even Vlad has a shot still to hit 300. He comes into the game hitting 295. So there are some personal milestones at stake here over the last few games.
And also, even when we were talking last night when they were trying to clinch the division, the importance of getting their swing. Certain guys starting to hit the ball hard again. Torrey Hunter had a couple good at-bats last night. Struggled on his homestand before that game. So guys that haven't been hitting like they were in July and August, they need to get them going. That's why Socha will get their at-bats at some point in these last few games.
Gary Matthews for the Angels. Pops one foul.
And it's also important to get Gary Matthews an opportunity to get some swings because he's got an important role. He's done a solid job coming off the bench in that pinch hitting role, the #1 guy off the bench for Mike Socha.
How do you assess Gary's season? In spring training, he made it clear, once it was clear to him that he was not going to start every day, that he wasn't happy. And I think he would probably even have welcomed a trade somewhere. There's a line drive into right field for Gary, base hit. As it turns out, there were some injuries. He played more than he thought, probably still less than he would like. How do you assess Gary's season?
I think overall solid. When Torrey got hurt, he did a tremendous job filling in center field. Got some key base hits. You know, the batting average obviously wants it higher than what it is coming into the game at 248, now over 250. But a lot of his hits were key hits, driving in some runs. His batting average with runners in scoring position over 300. So the important time for him to get a good hit, he was able to do so. And I think overall, he's got to be happy he's going to the postseason.
Howie Kendrick up there. Gary wound up with a little over 300 at-bats. And he probably would have liked to have had about 550. 0-1 to Howie Kendrick.
I mean, remember there was some times that Gary's name was mentioned going to Cincinnati. I mean, do you want to play for the Cincinnati Reds right now when they're 10 games under 500 and getting your 500 at-bats? Or do you get your 300-plus at-bats and be able to maybe get a key pinch hit and win the World Series for a club? For me, it's all about the postseason.
Howie Kendrick, who had to go down to Salt Lake City earlier this season to get himself back together, said after he was sent down, he would talk to Torrey Hunter, he would talk to Figgins, some of the players on the team, and he said Torrey told him, you will come back here a different player. And that's exactly what happened.
Well, you can go down and pout, say you don't belong down there, or you can be a guy that can contribute. Gary's contributed. Howie's come up and crushed the ball since he came back from AAA. So it's the adjustments you make mentally in this game.
Howie, half a swing there, strikes him out, 2 down. We were talking about Socha earlier and how he almost doesn't want to admit that he can celebrate now last night.
What next is tomorrow. Now we got some decisions to make, starting to get some things lined up for the playoffs, and we're going to have a meeting right now and start to move forward with some things.
You can say it again, playoffs. Say it again.
We're in the playoffs, so you know it.
Does that look like a place where they're about to have a meeting?
Well, I don't know if I want to be, some major decisions being made at that particular point. That might be a tough one. But yeah, he has to make decisions on that 25-man roster. Who does he keep? We showed that roster. We thought, pretty much 23 guys you can pencil in for sure, but there's a couple guys on the bubble as far as who's going to make that playoff roster or not.
2-0 to Rob Quinlan.
Does Mike go with the extra bat, or does he go with the extra arm down out of the bullpen? Tough decisions to make.
(2-0 to Quinlan. 2 men on with 2 out. 2-0 Angels in the bottom of the third. 3-0 to Q. Quinlan doesn't get many starts against right-handed pitchers, but he's in there tonight.
Well, first time up, Rob hit a rocket to third base that Michael Young made the play on a curveball, but now he's in a great fastball count. 3-1. Feldman has a good fastball with some good late action on it.
That's always the question for a ball player, and it could be what you were talking about with Matthews. You could say the same thing about Quinlan. Would you rather be with a team that's in the playoffs every year and be a role player, or play every day on a team that loses 90 games a season?
That is a tough call. Like I said, I mean, look at this for basketball. I know the Lakers are starting up tomorrow. If you're Chris Mim, did you want to be traded to Memphis or be on the team that won the world championship last year? I mean, it's all about getting a ring, that camaraderie with that group that wins something special. Always take the team that goes to the postseason.
But every player, whether they are the 25th guy on the team or not, wants to play. So it's a tough one.
It is. But Mike Scioscia does a great job of handling the whole 25-man roster. And I think that's the biggest thing. He makes these guys, whether you're the top dog on the team or the 25th man, feel important, and that you'll help this team win a game or two at some point during the season to get to the playoffs.
Quinlan hits a pop fly, shallow left field. Murphy comes in and makes the play to retire the side. The Angels leave a couple of men on. It's 2-0 after 3. And now it's time for Lexus Pursuing Perfection.
2009 Western Division champions. That is pursuing perfection.
Well, they still have a lot of that pursuit to go here, and they'll all tell you the same thing. They're happy to win the West, but they feel like there's still quite a road to drive that Lexus towards this year.
I think Torrey Hunter said it best, too, in the celebration last night. He said, I think there's something special about this club. It's unfinished business, and they expect to go all the way.
No balls, 2 strikes to Michael Young. Well, it certainly feels like, without seeing all their games, that the Red Sox were playing better ball about 2 or 3 weeks ago than they are right now. They lost to Toronto again tonight. Strike 3 to Michael Young. But That doesn't really tell you that much about how the games will play out. That should be a great series. Assuming Boston makes it, they would have to lose the rest of their games and Texas win the rest of their games for that not to happen.
Well, the only person in the world would probably say, well, I don't like our chances, or we're going to play one day at a time, might be the guy in our dugout right now. I think Terry Francona and the Red Sox feel pretty good. Texas, you know, they're going to have a tough time winning another game in this series, let alone worried about winning the rest of it and Boston losing them. So it's a tough spot for the Rangers. Red Sox are going to be who the Angels are going to play in that first round.
Murphy pops one foul out of play. The Angels and the Red Sox could go into that series with identical records. The Angels have won 92 games this year. The Red Sox have won 91. So it's going to be pretty close. 0-2 to David Murphy. Eric Ibar getting the day off. So is Torrey Hunter. Is Turris not in there today?
Torrey decided to forget his Michael Phelps imitation and swimming on the ground like he did last year. Today, that was bad luck. Try something new this year.
Oh, 0-2 to Murphy.
But Torrey, in the playoffs so many years, was prepared. He had the goggles working again just to be able to protect those eyes. He's talking about that quick step in the outfield. He's still in good position to make that play.
Murphy drives one to right field. David Murphy hits it way out, and the Rangers are on the board.
Pretty impressive at bat. For Murphy, fouled off some tough pitches, a number of pitches that O'Sullivan was hitting the spot, fouled them off, then got a pitch to drive and hit it way out to right field.
That's his 17th of the season. And it's 2-1 Angels.
Wanted inside on that fastball, but it ran out. That's the danger of a two-seam fastball that has that run action middle part of the plate. Murphy didn't miss that pitch.
Hit it to the old bullpen area. Gentry takes ball one. That pitch there breaks a string of 10 straight strikes thrown by O'Sullivan. And the fly ball hit well by Gentry to center field. Gary Matthews makes the catch. 2 out in the inning as we take a look at the Aflac trivia question for tonight. The Angels have won 3 straight division titles. Which teams since 1969 have won more than 3 in a row?
We know Atlanta's in there. Yankees.
Hank Blaylock, check swing. Foul ball. Obviously the Braves are the first thing that come to mind.
And of course, Joe Torre was at the helm of the Yankees with the 13 straight postseasons. Majority of them as division winners. Red Sox would come in a number of those times as the wild card winner.
Blaylock rolls one to second base, and Kendrick throws him out. But the Rangers get on the board on a home run by David Murphy. 2-1 Angels. 3 straight West titles. Which teams since 1969 have won more than 3 in a row in their division?
Reds in there? Nope. Braves, Yankees, the Tribe. That's right, and the A's. Well, I'll tell you what, that 95 Cleveland Indian team was the most dangerous lineup I've ever seen. They had Sandy Alomar, I think, hitting 9th. They had 25 home runs on the season. But they got beat by the Braves in that World Series. All about pitching.
Brandon Wood is the batter for the Angels, leading off the bottom of the 4th inning. Woody hit 31 home runs in Salt Lake. And there's a shot into center field. That sends Gentry way back. It's over his head. It's off the wall. Brandon Wood, a double.
Well, I was talking to a couple scouts about Brandon. They were asking the same question. How come Brandon doesn't get that, 15, 20 at-bats a week just to see what he can do? Well, look at this, how perfect this swing was for Brandon. You can see why everyone thinks this kid has potential to be a star. Compact. Ball got out like he would be at a driving range in golf. Crushed it. But they kept saying, we like this kid. We think he has a chance, looking from afar, to be a potential star in the big leagues.
Jeff Mathis grounds one foul. Jeff had a base hit to drive in a run in the 2nd inning.
Right off the top of the foot.
No balls, 2 strikes to Mathis. Jeff is hitting .214, but he's exactly 50 points higher than that at home. .264 at Angel Stadium. If he could take that and do the same thing on the road. If Jeff Mathis, with his catching skills, could be hit .264 for the season, there'd be no question the Angels would be thrilled with that.
And there's no reason why he can't. I talked to Mickey Hatcher a number of times about Mathis and his approach. He just wants him to get that squat position right here. You can see him in that spot right there, not straight up and down. It has a tendency when he does that, fly open that hip and not have good balance. But right here, good balance at the plate.
Is there any, as Hatch talks hitting, is there any legitimate reason why a batter would be 50 points less on the road?
I think what it comes down to, when you look at Jeff and his swing, it comes down to giving the pitchers too much credit. Because there's no doubt he's a guy that can hit you 250, 260. And you don't need much more out of Jeff Mathis because he's so good behind the plate, calling the game, good strong arm. Also, he has that authority. I like what he does. He handles his staff, and he feels that pitcher's kind of losing focus. He'll be right out there to make sure he gets them back in line. Anybody who's going to be a quarterback in college, a college like Florida State, has those kind of leadership skills.
2-2 to Jeff.
You see Mickey's always talking. You see the hands he's showing right there, that movement. Sometimes, well, you remember Gary Sheffield moving his wrists like that. He has such a quick bat, but the more movement you have, the better chance if you're a pitcher to be able to get that hitter out, because that movement allows to be susceptible to fastballs inside.
Off the end of the bat, right back to Feldman. 1 out. And Figgins coming up. The Angels have won the West for the 3rd straight year. Now you can guarantee your spot in the postseason with a suite rental. There are a variety of suite options available for that perfect event, hosting colleagues or enjoying a fun evening out. Call 888-796-HALO to reserve your suite for the postseason.
Boy, that sounds great when you say that, Rory.
Sounds like a nice place to be, doesn't it?
Yep.
One out, one on with Figgins batting. Sean's already been up twice tonight. He has struck out and walked. Sean Figgins, when he walked tonight, it was number 100 on the season. You look at the other guys, and those are pretty much power hitters. Figgy's just done it with a great eye, great patience, getting on base so he can steal bases and score runs.
When you think about it, looking back throughout his career as an Angel, averaged around 58 walks a season. Now this year, 100 walks. Runs scored. This is phenomenal.
2-0 to Figgy. Three and 0 to Sean Figgins. Feldman having a little bit of a long night tonight. He's thrown 75 pitches already as he works with one out in the fourth. And it's a 4-pitch walk for Figgins, number 101 on the season. Washington and Maddox talking in the dugout for the Texas Rangers.
Uncharted water for Feldman, too. A guy's pitched a lot of innings this season. He's pitched out of the bullpen and spot started in the past for the Rangers. 3 appearances out of the bullpen this season, but he's been dominant, particularly when you talk about how well he's thrown on the road. 12-game winner on the road this year.
It's hard to believe a guy 17-6 as a starter has also appeared out of the bullpen. It's like old-time baseball.
That's fun when you get an opportunity, especially early in the season. A manager will experiment with that. Instead of throwing your bullpen session, if the bullpen's been overloaded, you have an opportunity to come out. Instead of throwing bullpen session, you go in and throw a couple innings out of in the game. It's a lot of fun.
Reggie Willits is 0 for 2 tonight. Over in the Angel dugout, Mike Napoli looks like he might pinch hit. Either that or he's just trying to stay loose down there. But he does have the helmet on. Brandon Wood aboard at second base. Figgins at first with one out in the bottom of the fourth inning. Oh, 0-2 to Willits. Vlad Guerrero, who is in the hole at the moment, but he doesn't look like he's going to swing the bat, so maybe Napoli will be hitting for Vladdy. Vladdy had a couple of at-bats tonight, actually just one at-bat. No, he did have 2 at-bats and got 1 hit. But it could be that Mike Scioscia has decided, hey, a couple of times up, you got a base hit. Let Napoli get a swing or two. Willits backs out. Feldman working slowly here with men on base. And Reggie takes a called third strike. So Reggie Willits frustrated, 0 for 3 tonight. Bobby Abreu coming up. And Napoli has moved on deck, so if Abreu keeps the inning going, Mike will pinch hit on the DH spot.
This could be a situation, too. This could be Bobby's last at bat of the evening. That's what Mike Scioscia is going to do. Give some guys an opportunity to start the game, get some at-bats in, and then let some of the younger guys get an opportunity to see some action.
One and 0 to Abreu. Scott Feldman right now is on pace to have 100 pitches thrown after 5 innings tonight. And Abreu, tired of waiting, backs out. Ground ball towards first, backhanded nicely by Blaylock, but unable to get the out.
Well, that's a play where Blaylock, because he's fielding going towards the second base bag, was waiting for Andrus to be there to be able to get the force out, but he wasn't there. Those little things keep an inning going. Nice play by Blaylock.
Really not much excuse for there to be nobody to throw it to, is there?
Shortstop's always got to be there, just like a pitcher's always got to cover first base. You saw Feldman running over there. Andrus, youngster, obviously when he gets into that dugout, Omar Vizquel, no question, will probably tell him, hey, listen, you got to be there at all times. You got to assume that play is going to be made and the pitcher's not going to be able to get over there in time to be able to make the play at first.
Omar has mentored Elvis through this season. But whether the year has unofficially come to an end for the Rangers or not, still have to make that play.
Extra outs, and the Angels seem to capitalize on that better than any team in baseball as far as when you get an extra out, makes me know a couple runs are scored against you.
Napoli now pinch hitting for Vlad Guerrero. And the Angels still, Gooby, have not hit one grand slam home run this year. The only team in the major leagues without one.
You got a home run hitter up now, and Mike Napoli. The guy's got a good fastball, so a mistake, center it up, could get that first grand slam of the year.
That ground ball by Abreu, even though Blaylock got to it, was ruled a base hit. Two 2-0 to Napoli.
Pretty sure Mike's going to have a pretty good swing here. 2-0 count, fastball count, bases loaded, coming off the bench. If it's anywhere near the strike zone.
It's been a long time since they went a full season without one, 1974. Three 3-0 to Napoli. This is turning into a very long inning for Feldman.
This might be his last batter regardless here.
The Angels have only scored once in the inning.
And there's no question Napoli's going to get the green light.
Feldman has had a 3-ball count on a hitter 7 times tonight. 3-1.
Well, good thing he held up. That's not a pitch you want to swing at if you're ahead of the count there 3-0. You want to get a pitch that you can center on and drive. Mike Napoli likes that ball inside part of the plate and elevate it. Good idea not to swing at that pitch.
He got one he liked there, but fouled it off.
Well, they went inside, exactly the spot where Mike Napoli loves to be able to drive. He can either turn on that one or hit that ball hard to right center field.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, bases loaded. And Pudge out to the mound. Feldman has thrown 86 pitches as he works here in the 4th inning. Still 3-2. The National League East, the Phillies won and the Braves lost. Magic number for the Phils, 1.
But it's interesting how the Braves have made a pretty good run. They're only 2.5 games back now with that loss against Colorado, though Colorado 5-5 against Milwaukee at home in the bottom of the 9th. What a great race that is.
Napoli strokes a base hit into left field that's going to knock in 2. Pinch hit single for Mike Napoli. 2 RBIs for Nap. 4-1 Angels.
Just another run scored for Sean Figgins, and here comes Ron Washington to make that move. Great at bat for Mike Napoli. Got that fastball inside, turned on it for a 2-run single.
Fans, the team store has extended its 30% off sale through this Thursday's game. You can get a jersey, a hat, a retro hat, an Angel warm-up jacket. All of the items in the team store will be on sale through Thursday. 30% off.
I know you're itching to pick me up something, Rory. You can do it right after the game Thursday, just before the postseason rally.
If only there would be a further reduction in price. Then I would
100% off?
Yes.
Thanks. Appreciate the
and free
love
shipping.
And respect. Free shipping.
Guillermo Moscoso takes over for the Rangers. Gary Matthews at the plate. 2 out runners at first and third. For Feldman, a pitcher who has had a great year, that was a long 3 2/3 innings, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, it's really a tough time commanding the strike zone. We've seen him, he was 3-0 this season against the Angels. Just great movement on the fastball, a great cut fastball. He had a tough time with that cut fastball tonight. Didn't have that late break. Couldn't throw it in the strike zone, whether it be inside or the outside corner with it. Certainly should be proud of his season he's had.
Pop fly is going to take care of Matthews and the Angels, but they score a couple of more runs in the fourth. Napoli drives in 2. It's 4-1 Angels. Four to 1 Angels. Sean O'Sullivan needing 3 more outs to qualify for a possible win tonight. As we get to the 5th, and Terry Evans is in the ball game for the Angels.
Just like we thought, Bobby Abreu gets another at bat. Now out of the game, Terry Evans getting an opportunity to be able to not only play the outfield, but should get at least 1 or 2 at bats.
Evans playing in right field. Ian Kinsler, the batter for Texas. It looks like Sandoval in there at third base. And it is Freddie. So Figgins is out of the game. One ball, one strike to Ian Kinsler. Behind third and just off the end of Sandoval's glove. It's a base hit for Kinsler. It'll be a double for Ian.
Well, it's almost automatic. As soon as you're in a game, that baseball does find you. Great effort by Freddie. Almost able to make the play down that line.
Leadoff man aboard for the Rangers. Kinsler's at second with Nelson Cruz at the plate. Cruz hits a home run every 14 at-bats. He has 33 on the season.
Well, what Jeff is doing right now, talking to Sean O'Sullivan with the man on second base, what sign they're going with, what he's comfortable throwing that first pitch. You switch out with nobody on base, you'll go to first sign, but when a man on second, there's so many variations in which you're going to be able to get the pitch you want to throw.
Texas last night with runners in scoring position, 0 for 6. The Rangers have scored only 1 run in the 2 games so far.
What a job by Urban Santana last night. Given an opportunity to be able to pitch the club into the postseason, throws a shutout.
Just makes it feel a little bit more emphatic, doesn't it?
I mean, John Lackey said it best in that celebration. That was the best game they played the entire season. All 3 aspects. Great pitching, outstanding defense, and amazing approaches at the plate.
1-1 to Nelson Cruz. One ball, 2 strikes. Kinsler's at second, leading off the inning with a double. Sean O'Sullivan had his dancing shoes on last night. But when you look at players like Sean, Matt Palmer, Shane Lukes, guys that got the Angels through. Trevor Bell, Darren Oliver had a spot start here and there. Just got him through this season. And Rafael Rodriguez now loosening up in the bullpen for the Angels. Full count, 3-2 to Cruz. A high chopper behind second base, Brandon Wood. Good throw.
That's a heck of a play by Brand. That's a tough play. Nelson Cruz runs very well. The guy who has 20 stolen bases on the season, so you know he's got good wheels. That's a chopper up the middle. Not only fields it, but has to be able to throw across his body, be able to get the play at first. Outstanding.
Kinsler over to third base with 1 out, and Pudge Rodriguez at the plate for Texas. Pudge struck out his first time up. Went down swinging against O'Sullivan. 0-1. "20 years old when Pudge Rodriguez won his first Gold Glove. Hard hit ground ball to Wood. He goes to first for the out. Kinsler scores from third. Pudge gets an RBI, and it's 4-2 Angels.
In that spot, if you're Sean O'Sullivan, yes, you'd like to get a strikeout there, but Pudge has been around this game a long time. He's going to put that ball in play. Gets a ground ball up the middle. Brandon Wood makes the play.
Elvis Andrus flied out to right field his first time. Now 2 out and nobody on. One 1-0 to Elvis.
I think the nature boy, Ric Flair, is here, Rory. You hear him?
It's a mighty exciting menu they have down in the Diamond Club.
Yes. He's giving us the woo. The Nature Boy is at the ball game. Even a Nature Boy is an Angel fan.
1-2 to Elvis Andrus.
This is pure entertainment for you, isn't it, Roy?
On the ground to third base, Sandoval stays with a tough hop and gets him. The Rangers get a run. We're halfway through this one, 4-2 Angels.
Lauren Trufa to Drew Red.
Leading off the bottom of the fifth, there have already been a number of changes in the ball game, but Howie started, and he's 0 for 2 tonight. Strike one to Kendrick. He has struck out and grounded out, hitting .297 as he steps in here. One ball, one strike to Kendrick. When the Angels clinched the division last night, it was not only their third straight, but it's also 5 out of 6. This team has just been incredibly consistent. But they are, you would have to say, not fed up with winning division titles, but they're certainly tired of getting knocked out early. And this team has a much bigger goal.
And I think the approach to play this team has this year is the reason why I firmly believe it's the year to be able to get by that Boston Red Sox club. It's a club that's so tough on their home turf. That's why that game one is probably the most important game of any of the division series come playoff time. Angels to win that game one.
Of all the teams that make the playoffs, everybody wants to win game one. But you think for the Angels, it's more important than anybody else?
Mainly because of what has happened in the past. I mean, you can't get around that. I mean, it's brought up constantly. I mean, you look at Atlanta, all those divisions they won. They won one world championship. Granted, a lot of clubs can't say they won any world championships. And to get into the postseason 13 straight seasons like they did, yet they only won one. So it always came out, well, how come you can't win another World Series? Well, you're there. Well, the Red Sox have played extremely well against the Angels in the postseason. And when you have home field advantage, you got to protect your turf. Like Mike Scioscia says, you got to protect your home turf.
Well, I agree with you. And if the Angels were to come out there and lose game one, that's a bad feeling. Here you are against the Red Sox. You're home and you're down 0-1. That would certainly be a letdown.
Doubt. That'll creep in your mind. It can't help it, because everyone's going to ask the same question. But if you win that game one, which I firmly believe the way they're playing right now, they're in position to be able to do so.
Quinlan takes a called third strike, 2 out in the inning.
Boston's limping into the playoffs. They get beat around by the Yankees. They lose a couple games here to Toronto. I mean, they're not exactly on fire going into the postseason themselves. So they're beatable. Josh Beckett had some back spasms, missed his last start. Is that a carryover effect?
Brandon Wood, the batter. This is all assuming, of course, that things go the way we expect it to, and that would only be different if the Rangers won every game from here on and Boston lost every game. It seems very unlikely.
Well, the interesting thing, if you're the Boston Red Sox team right now, you're sitting in Fenway Park waiting and watching this game, because if the Angels win this game, which they are leading right now, they're in. Do you celebrate that? I mean, that's certainly odd. Well, the Angels had to wait last year too. You remember, they won their game, took care of their business. They had to wait for that. This is the Ranger game to be final to determine if they were in the playoffs or not.
Well, they were 20 games up, though, so they just had to wait to see if they could celebrate that day.
Well, Mike Scioscia says it's one game at a time, Rory. That's not waver away from that.
You're right. You're certainly right about that. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Brandon Wood, and he'll be called out on strikes. This one is through 5 innings, and it's 4-2 Angels.
Time for the Coors Light Freeze Can. Look at that, the celebration. Irvin with the shutout, Henry with a game. The fellas jumping on top of each other, celebrating in that clubhouse with Artie Moreno and all the fellas in that dance by Sean O'Sullivan. And best of all, remembering their brother, their teammate, their buddy, Nick Aidenhart. And that is your Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by Frost Food Coors Light.
Terry Evans has moved from right field over to left field for the Angels. So Reggie Willits goes from left to center, and that gives Chris Pettit a chance to play right field.
to be a fun feeling for Chris Pettit there, get a chance to play. Doing a lot of pinch running. Opportunity to play in the outfield here now.
Rafael Rodriguez, who has not spent a lot of time with the Angels this year. Mostly he's been in the minor leagues, but getting a chance to pitch here in the 6th inning. Julio Bourbon leading off for Texas. Bobby Wilson takes over behind the plate for the Angels. Bourbon taps one toward first base. Quinlan's still in there, and he feeds Rodriguez for the out.
You know, Mike Scioscia talked about, even after the celebration, going in there and talking to staff to determine playoff rosters. Well, you got a couple guys in this game tonight that may indeed be on that playoff roster. You got Reggie Willis, a possibility. Bobby Wilson, if Mike Scioscia decides to go with 3 catchers. Some decisions still to be made.
Michael Young with a base hit into center field. That's Young's 2nd hit of the night. You can pencil him in for one of the most professional at-bats every time up.
It's amazing what he can do. He can get the ball up the middle. He can go to the right field. You can see by the power numbers with 22 home runs, if you go inside with something or throw a curveball out over the plate, he can hit it out of the yard too.
David Murphy. He hit one out of the yard in the 4th inning. If the Angels can hold on to this lead, Sean O'Sullivan, after 5 innings of work, is in line for a possible win. Ground ball, base hit into right field. David Murphy having a good day, has a home run into single now. 1 out, 2 men on. And Gentry, who came in when Marlon Byrd hurt his hamstring. Craig Gentry up there at the plate. To Gentry. 2 men on, 1 out. No balls, 2 strikes. Whatever Mike Scioscia decides on that playoff roster and the compilation of pitchers to hitters, I don't expect he'll tip his hand anytime soon.
Well, he probably won't, because the fact is he has some guys still playing all the way through the end of the season. So it's a tough call, but a call that they'll be confident they made the right decision come playoff time when he fills out that roster.
And that's just for the first series.
And that's a good option you have now. You could change that in the next series also. Before in the past, whatever roster you had, no matter what happened, you were stuck with that 25-man roster regardless.
Soch watching as Butcher has gone out to the mound with 2 out and 2 on. The postseason rally is coming up following the Angel-Ranger game this Thursday. Fans showing the most spirit and obviously wearing red, will be chosen for the Avid Fan Contest. One lucky winner will receive 4 tickets to the American League Division Series, and that guy's in the running. For more information on how you can participate, visit angelsbaseball.com.
I got to believe, Roy, you're going to give him a run for his money, though. I get to see you down there all in red.
But unfortunately, I'm not eligible to win that.
Well, just wear a mustache. Nobody will know you're there.
2 out, 2 on, and Hank Blaylock at the plate. One ball, 1 strike to Hank. Rafael Rodriguez in his first inning of work, trying to get through unscathed here. Two and one. And there's a liner to center field. Willits comes on and makes the sliding catch. That gets Rafael Rodriguez out of the 6th inning. It's 4-2 Angels. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Quite a night last night. Tonight, the Angels and Rangers playing the day after the big game for the Angels. Bottom of the 6th inning, and Bobby Wilson takes strike 1. This is his first at-bat tonight. And Bobby drills one down the line, but foul.
When you're thinking about it, you're Bobby Wilson, get an opportunity to be able to celebrate with the guys like that in that clubhouse, in that environment. It's that ability to see what it's like to be part of a team like that and participate with that club is invaluable for a young player.
He's been in a few games, but this is his first at-bat this year. Almost hit a home run a minute ago down that line. One ball, 2 strikes to Bobby Wilson. You think it changes your view of things at all to win when you are so young, and I'm thinking about John Lackey, to win the 7th game of the World Series as a rookie, does that affect you as the years go by a little bit?
Well, you expect to be there every year after that. You know, I was fortunate, like I said before, I was fortunate enough to come up to Kansas City and make the playoffs my first year. The second year we were in the World Series. I mean, you just expect that every year. And I think when you have that type of confidence, not only in yourself, but as an organization like the Angels, building within, having 22 of their 35 guys up here come through the system, you know you have a chance each and every year. So John Lackey had that opportunity and still get a chance at pitching the postseason. Guys like Bobby Wilson getting a chance to see this.
Wilson lines one into right center field, but it's an out as Gentry makes a nice play. Craig Gentry got a good jump on that line drive.
Tell you what, it's miserable playing meaningless games in August, September if you're a team that's not playing well. As compared to a team that has a chance every year to get to the big dance, that World Series.
Well, you're not kidding. I'm thinking of, say, the Orioles right now. Now, they were obviously having a tough season, but they lost tonight, their 12th in a row.
Think about Ernie Banks, as great as a player as he was. And then you look at John Lackey, 5 out of 6 years here, postseason.
When you're a team that has been losing for a while, Kansas City, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, does that make the season drag as it goes along?
Oh, it's horrible in that month of September. This week we saw that series with the Dodgers trying to close out their division against Pittsburgh. Granted, Pittsburgh played well against them, winning 3 out of 4, but you know, you're thinking about, I just don't want to get hurt in the end. I'm trying to put up numbers. It becomes more of an individual sport than it would be a team sport. Is trying to put up numbers.
Terry Evans grounds one to shortstop. 2 down. Yeah, I think it wears you down even a little bit more. It's a long season, and then by the time you get to September, everybody is thinking about what are they going to do in the offseason, and let's get these games over with. It makes it a little bit tough to enjoy it.
And it's tough to manage a club like that because you're trying to motivate those players as a team. But, you know, you're thinking in lines, wow, if I can get a couple more hits, I'm going to hit 300. Or if I pitch a couple shutout innings, I got my ERA under 4. Instead of thinking about, you know what, maybe I'll hit a ball to the right side, advance the base runner so we can win a game, a meaningful game.
And now, when you get to this point in the season, if you're Pittsburgh particularly, Baltimore, players that might have won you a few of those games have been dealt away. And that makes it even more difficult.
And you wonder what direction the club is actually going in. If you mentioned Pittsburgh. Here they are, they have some pretty good players. Again, in the trade deadline, like Jack Wilson and a number of other guys moved. What direction are you going as an organization? See, the Angels, on the other hand, because they're winning each and every year, they keep these players. You know, there's going to be some guys that move on here and there. They try to keep that core group together to be able to be successful.
Reggie Willits takes outside. It must be tiring, too, when the trading deadline is coming up and you're one of the bottom-run teams, and all you hear, as Tony Regan talks on the phone, in news reports is, oh, you know, this team is trying to get this player from you, as though your team doesn't even count almost.
Exactly. Look what Tony did before the trade deadline. He gets Scott Kazmir. You know, you're looking over at Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Houston Astros. They're getting rid of good players. Instead, Tony's able to bring in a player that may indeed get them to the World Series. I mean, when Scott came over here, Mike Scioscia, right away, the way he saw him throwing the baseball, it's my best 5-man rotation I've ever had.
Right.
But you could do that when you could supplement players that leave with great minor league guys. That's what the key is. Artie's philosophy from the get-go was building a very strong minor league system. You can make deals, or when players like Mark Teixeira leave, you bring in Kenny Morales right away to be able to put up some numbers like that. Not many organizations can do that.
And Tony was able, because of the depth, to pull off a great deal to get Kazmir. 2-2 to Reggie Willits.
How great was that when Artie was talking about Tony Regan's league? I had to try to convince him to take the job.
Beg him.
Yeah. Well, back-to-back years, he's pulled huge blockbuster deals. The year before, Teixeira, this year, Casimir.
Full count to Reggie Willits.
Without depleting their farm system or the Major League roster to make those deals.
Sandoval on deck. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat to Reggie. And he draws a walk. A 2-out walk here in the 6th inning. Freddie Sandoval coming up. Moscoso's done a nice job in relief for the Rangers tonight.
Keep an eye on Reggie, though, with 5 stolen bases. Still a very close game here, 4-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Freddie's more of a contact hitter, better way to score if he's in scoring position at second base.
This is his first appearance at the plate with the Angels this year. One 1-0 to Sandoval. One ball, one strike to Freddie. Two outs in the 6th. Angels still leading at 4-2. And Sandoval hits a fly ball into left field. That'll be it for the inning. And we are through 6. The Angels by 2. lead the Rangers 4-2. Top of the 7th inning here at the Big A. Ian Kinsler leads off the inning for the Texas Rangers. Kinsler doubled and scored a run in the 5th inning. Kinsler fouls that pitch back out of play. If you follow the National League West, the Padres lead the Dodgers 2-1 in the 7th inning tonight, while Colorado is in the 11th. There's the Dodger-Padres score, and the Rockies 5-5, bottom of the 11th, at home against Milwaukee. There's a drive by Kinsler into left center field. Cruising over to make the catch, Terry Evans. One out, Nelson Cruz coming up.
Jump by Terry out there in left field. That ball was hit hard by Kinsler. Good read, makes the play look easily.
The Angel outfield right now, Evans, Willits, and Pettit. Cruz takes ball one. Terry Evans, left field. Reggie Willits started in left tonight. He's in center field now, and there's Chris Pettit in right. Wide of third, the play made by Freddie Sandoval. And if those don't feel like household names to you, this game does have a decidedly spring training feel to it right now, but that's not unexpected given what happened last night. What happened last night is the Angels won the American League West Championship. So the postseason rally is coming up Thursday, right after the game. The Angels play the Rangers. The event will include Angel players and alum, U.S. Army parachute team, the Golden Knights, and there will be a big fireworks show after the rally. So as Gooby said earlier, if you just happen to be hovering around the stadium at that time of day,
come on in.
Come right in. Postseason rally Thursday.
How's that working, your practice for that parachute jump for you, Rory? Is it getting close? You feel comfortable?
Well, I'd rather not discuss that right now. Pudge Rodriguez is the batter. Oh, by the way, the Colorado Rockies have won that game now in Denver in the 11th inning. They beat Milwaukee 6-5. Just a couple of races still going. That one, and certainly the AL Central, where the Tigers and Twins split a doubleheader today. So it's still the Tigers by 2 games. The winner in that division gets the Yankees in the first round.
It's the team with over 100 wins.
Well, you never know.
Postseason, hey, if you're the Tigers, you get in when you got Verlander and Edwin Jackson to pitch the first 2 games of that series, and it's because Joe Girardi decided the longer series, those guys would have an opportunity to pitch 4 of the 5 games, those 2.
3-1 to Pudge Rodriguez. Good play on the right side by Howie Kendrick, and he gets him. Nice play by Howie. We get to the 7th inning stretch at the Big A on a good play by Howie Kendrick. 4-2 Angels. but we gave away a house.
Well, that's a great opportunity. What they did was the 3 finalists drew colored baseballs, and they had the race, and the red card, the red baseball comes through in the end. For Lauren Trufa wins a house, a brand new house from D.R. Horton. I got to get down there to Temecula and saw those houses, as a matter of fact, Rory. Beautiful, beautiful houses. And what about that? No wonder she's crying and happy.
Well, I would think so, yes.
That's incredible. What a giveaway.
New home, that's a great giveaway. Yeah, D.R. Horton, thanks to them.
Tell you, the people at D.R. Horton, fantastic. I got to see them before the game, talk to them. They were so excited about this giveaway. Like I said, those homes were beautiful. I got the chance to see them down there in Temecula by Pachanga Casino.
Pedro Strop on the mound now for the Texas Rangers. Mike Napoli up there for the Angels. This is Mike's second at-bat of the night. He pinch hit for Vlad Guerrero and got a base hit. So Mike's in the DH spot now. Strike 3 called. We saw Strop last night. He was impressive.
Well, that's a nasty slider on the outside corner. All you can do as a hitter, all you can do is hope that's off the plate and it's called a ball. Good break that, good mechanics, but Strop able to hit that outside corner with this pitch. See Pudge sent up there, frames it, gets the out.
We mentioned the Rockies won in 11 innings tonight, and the Braves lost earlier today. So that's a big win for the Rockies. It gives them a 3-game lead in the wild card in the National League. Braves lost to Florida 5-4. Chris Pettit pops one foul back out of play. First at bat of the night for Pettit. And the first at bat of the season for Pettit on the big league level. One and one to Chris Pettit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pettit makes his home in San Dimas, born in Pasadena. Has to be excited at the chance to play for the Angels.
First major league at bat here. He's got a great slider. You see that split finger. He's got some cheese on that fastball at 95 miles an hour.
Quakes fans know him. He was with Rancho Cucamonga in 2007 for about 70 games. He hit over 300. And there's a line drive. Base hit. First major league hit for Chris Pettit. Great moment for this young guy from Pasadena.
Boy, what a great, great night. Celebrate a division title last night. They get your opportunity to get your first major league at bat and come through with a hit. Pretty good batting average right now.
Congratulations to Chris Pettit of the Angels.
Well, that baseball, they'll play some tricks with it, I'm sure, pretend they're going to throw it up in the stands. Chris is looking all going, I can't wait to see that. It's going into my mantle as soon as I get home. Look at that smile.
He can't help it.
Thank Blaylock.
Blaylock said something to him. 1-0 to Howie Kendrick. What they'll normally do is hide that ball somewhere, take another ball, and just cover it with writing. And then give it to him as though, here's your baseball. Things that don't even make any sense. And the player looks at it and just has to try to appear grateful.
Well, if you got somebody in there with a great poker face to give it to him, too, he's, oh, yeah, thanks, I appreciate it. And then you're like, oh, my God, my first hit is baseball is destroyed.
Right.
They certainly have enough guys down on that bench right now to be able to do something in that baseball. Not the original one, but one that they can use as a decoy.
Right. Then later they give him the real one. It's the oldest trick in the game, but it still works.
So keep in mind he's got great speed too. Still a very close game, 4-2. The Halos have been nursing that 2-run lead for a while.
2-2 to Howie Kendrick. And Howie hits one past Young at third down the line. Here's Pettit getting to third base, turning and going home to score the run. Big night for Chris Pettit. 5-2 Angels.
He went flying around there.
And right about now, he's thinking, I hope somebody saved that ball.
But he's got that smile. Everyone has that coy look about him, like, where's that baseball? He's probably looking around, does anybody have that? All the fellas congratulate. What a great feeling. First major league hit.
He has scored a run before because he's been used as a pinch runner. Howie Kendrick, an RBI double.
All right, who's got the baseball?
You don't want to be
Uncle, I need to see that.
too anxious about it.
He's looking for it, you can tell.
Yeah. One and one to Rob Quinlan. Good play made by Ian Kinsler at second base to take a hit away from Q.
Well, there's a lot of range there by Ian Kinsler. That's a base hit written all over and another RBI for Q. Kinsler, full extension, slides, makes the play, spins around, makes the throw to get the out at first.
Good effort by Kinsler in a game the Rangers are trailing in the late innings. 2 out, Brandon Wood up there. Woody takes low and outside, ball one. Foul down the right field line by Brandon Wood. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Angels adding a run here in the bottom of the 7th. Pudge Rodriguez still playing hard back there with a nice block to prevent a run.
And the Nature Boy's still here. He's not giving up. Not till the last out is made.
I wonder what that would be like to be sitting right next to him. Just by accident.
Be comfortable, no question.
Yeah. It's always a timely reaction to whatever's going on down there, that's for sure. 2-2 to Brandon Wood. And Woody goes down swinging to retire the side. The Angels get a run, and Chris Pettit of the Angels gets his first major league hit.
Pettit getting his first major league hit and his first major league at bat. The baseball's thrown into Dino Evil, who flips it over to Mike Scioscia. Where did that baseball go? Chris Pettit gets a chance here to be like a winner, like a cheetah going in there to get his prey. He wants that baseball back, man. And that is our Jack in the Box outside the box.
Eventually, they'll get him the real ball. Well, happy birthday. Jose Arredondo is pitching now for the Angels to start the 8th inning. 2-3 on the season. Elvis Andrus, the batter, leading off the top of the 8th for Texas. The attendance here tonight, 38,600. Another 3 million plus this year, Gooby, and the fans have they were fantastic last night.
They really kicked it in another gear around the 6th and 7th innings, sensing something special. Boy, and I'll tell you what, they were treated to something amazing at the end of the game in which the fellas on that team ran out there and paid homage to Nick Aidenhart's picture in center field. I mean, I still can't get over how great of a feeling that was to see that.
There were a lot of tears. And I'll tell you, interviewing Mike Butcher after the ball game as Arredondo gets a strikeout, I thought Butch was close to tears. I mean, I couldn't tell if it was a tear or if there was just beer or champagne on his face, but he's an emotional guy in some ways anyway, and I think that got to him a little bit.
Well, remember what Nick Aidenhart said after he threw those 6 shutout innings against Oakland? He went up to Mike Butcher, said, I get it, I've arrived right now, because he finally figured out that 6th inning. He threw, 7 pitches, all strikes to get through his best inning in that 6th inning.
Right.
Well, that was amazing. I'll tell you what, that is still a great feel. I still get goosebumps when you look at that.
Top fly to right field by Bourbon, 2 out. And when that was happening, and it wasn't planned this way, but when the players ran out there to pay tribute to Nick and to tell him, hey, you're still with us, Butch just happened to be down in the clubhouse sending a text to Nick's dad and looked up to the TV screen and saw this.
And the looks on their faces, the guys. That's their guy. That's their brother. It's their teammate.
Michael Young at the plate for the Rangers. One and two, Jose Arredondo trying to have a 1-2-3 inning here.
Jose also an opportunity to impress Mike Scioscia, Mike Butcher. He's a guy that still a possibility. Will they keep him on the playoff roster? Phenomenal season last year. Has been, command issues been for him. He's had a tough time getting that fastball over on a consistent basis. When you can't get that fastball over, the split finger is not as effective. When he throws the fastball that 94, 95 range in the zone and then finish off hitters with that split, it can be very valuable.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Michael Young. Pretty close. You just wonder if Darren O'Day, who is now a Ranger but was a good friend and teammate of Nick Aidenhart's, was watching last night, maybe from the Ranger clubhouse or maybe even from the dugout.
Remember, they interviewed him right after it happened. He was a member of the New York Mets.
Strike 3 call to Michael Young. Great inning for Arredondo. Although Young doesn't think it was such a good pitch. Bottom of the 8th coming up. players have played in this game tonight. Chris Pettit, first career hit. Mike Napoli, a pinch hit, 2-run single. The Angels clinched last night their third straight AL West title. Visit farmers.com today to hear more true stories from Farmers customers and to find a SoCal agent near you.
2009 Western Division champs. Tell you, this place is going to go crazy game one against the Red Sox. They're going to have to feed off that energy. Similar to what we saw there. Remember in 2002, just the energy this crowd had, that will, like that 10th man. Really important against the Red Sox. A very, very good team.
Willie Ayer grew up in Utah, but he was born in Fountain Valley. There's a shot by Bobby Wilson into left field for a hit into the corner. Angel catcher Bobby Wilson a double.
Couple good at bats really for Bobby Wilson. Very good behind the plate too. And the question is, will Mike Scioscia go with a 3-man catching crew? That gives him option. He could DH Mike Napoli at times or use him as a pinch hitter, and you still have the option to be able to pinch hit for Mathis if you have to, and you have Bobby Wilson as an option. Very good defense. We saw him playing in those games in Fenway already, so he's been there. To deal with that pressure. They were some 3 incredibly well-played games up at Fenway. It felt like a playoff game.
So that brings up the question, did Soch put Bobby Wilson in those games, already having it in his mind that there was a good chance that Wilson will be on that playoff roster? Terry Evans trying to bunt.
Yeah, I mean, I think every time Mike Scioscia makes a decision, puts somebody in the game, there's obviously a reason for it. And he wants to see what kind of a reaction you can see out of Bobby. And he did a nice job there at Fenway. I mean, that's not an easy crowd to play in front of.
By the way, that was not Wilson's first major league hit, but it was his first extra base hit. 0-1 now to Terry Evans. One ball, one strike to Evans. Two and one the count.
Brian Fuentes up in the bullpen now, save situation, the 5-2 score. Also, Mike Scioscia looking to get some work in for guys down in that bullpen to keep them sharp. And obviously, in a save situation, you want to bring Brian in.
Evans trying to hold up, and apparently did hold up. Terry grounded out to short in his only at bat here tonight. Full count, 3-2. And down he goes. One out in the 8th inning. Reggie Willits. Willits has been up 4 times tonight. Has been on base with a walk. That's been about it.
But as usual, managed to get that uniform dirty.
Pudge is going out to talk to Willie Ayer. Willits has had 72 at-bats as an Angel this year.
But he knows what his role would be if he's on that playoff roster. A guy that can come in and pinch runner, a guy that can lay down a bunt. Interesting to what he was talking about yesterday. The third, fourth, and fifth innings, he's in the batting cage working on the bunt. Casey gets in there and asks for that duty to be able to advance a base runner.
People would be amazed if they knew how much activity was going on right underneath where they might be sitting during a game. With the batting cage going, sometimes Mike Ashman, the batting practice pitcher, is pitching to the hitters down there. Sometimes it's out of a machine. Getting ready for a pinch hit possibility, possibly. They're not just sitting on the bench whiling away the time. There's a lot going on.
Really, Pudge and Ayer are not on the same page as far as pitch selection. That first pitch he threw a curveball he was crossed up on. He was trying to make sure they got the right signs to go with.
Two 2-0 to Reggie Willits, with Bobby Wilson at second base and one out in the bottom of the eighth. Two 2-0 to Reggie. Popped up. And Kinsler takes care of it. Two down, that'll bring up Abreu. Or rather, Sandoval. Hadn't quite updated my scorecard all the way yet. Freddie Sandoval. One 1-0 to Freddie Sandoval.
A lot of autographs on that Angel hat.
You bet. And it's getting late for some of the kids here. Whoop, just a quick wake up there.
Just heard your voice, Rory. Wake up call.
Two 2-0 to Sandoval. He hits a high fly ball into right center field. Nelson Cruz puts it away. We're headed to the ninth inning. Brian Fuentes is coming in for the save. swoops in for a possible save, Gooby.
Great opportunity to get some work in and had that save total for him. Had a chance to give him 46, which would tie him with Brian Harvey for third all time. Brian Harvey had one of the best fork balls at that particular point in the game. Rival the fork ball you saw at the National League with Bruce Sutter had that devastating fork ball.
Some of the 38,600 still here. It's been a very laid-back atmosphere tonight at the ballpark, hasn't it?
I think all that celebration, the excitement from last night, the way they played that game, well, they've responded very well again today. That play by Howie in the 7th inning was outstanding. The defense has been great again today.
That really was quite a play. One of the Angel highlights from the night. Definitely right up there with Chris Pettit's first major league hit tonight.
Sean O'Sullivan getting a start tonight. 5 great innings.
5 very good innings. He's in line for the win at the moment. One ball, one strike to David Murphy. Murphy considers his 4th inning home run as one of the highlights of the game.
Well, he definitely crushed that one.
He sure did. He has 2 hits tonight. And a slow roller to Howie Kendrick. Good play made by Howie. Howie playing a great second base tonight.
He's made some really good plays over the last 10 to 15 games at second base, showing a lot of range both to his left and to his right.
The Rangers are sending up a pinch hitter here, Esteban Herman. If Texas loses this game and they're 2 outs away from it, that would wrap up the wild card. It would be over for the Boston Red Sox. So I don't know whether the Red Sox are hanging around watching this game. It's almost 1 a.m. But they may be, because 2 more outs and they are the wild card officially in the American League. 1-1 to Herman.
You think anybody's hanging around at Fenway?
To watch that game? To watch this game?
Yeah.
No.
You had to think about that one?
Yeah. I don't think they're at Fenway, no. 2 outs as Sandoval makes that play. Maybe at home. Possibly.
Could be right. But a playoff appearance is a playoff appearance. You got to be happy about that. The Red Sox, you know, they're a team that got on fire for a bit, now slowing down, now trying to get in the playoffs any way they can.
Hank Blaylock takes strike 1 from Brian Fuentes. No balls, 2 strikes to Blaylock. So the Rangers down to their last strike. Fuentes strikes him out looking, and the ball game is over. Brian Fuentes gets the save. Sean O'Sullivan gets the win. First major league hit for Chris Pettit tonight. Just another Halo victory.
And not one walk by Angel pitchers tonight, attacking that strike zone. So we talked about the 3 phases coming together at the right time as the Halos pull